show you a couple of tips and tricks when you are doing your own choose your adventure story. I know last time you guys were excited to get started. So here's a couple things. One, you can work with a partner if you want. It's better to be in a group of two because then I feel that one of you could be in charge of choice one, the other could go with choice two, and you both would be practicing linking your slideshow. So remember, you go up to this share button right up here. And if I am working with Mrs. West and I share it to her, then she would need to go into her drive and open up the slideshow that I shared with her, and it would be titled under my name. So just remember that that's what you need to do. You guys need to be on the same exact slideshow. Okay, so in one of the classrooms, we decided to do hair salon. And so I know you guys already know how you can come up here and change the size. You can go and change the font. Keep in mind, if I click on my slide, background will show up. And when I do this, my whole entire background will change, right? So like I could put in maybe this one because I feel like maybe my text would show up. Little tricky to read, full background, or I have another option. I could hit that undo button and I could go to insert image, which is this little button right here. And this GIF and sticker one is kind of fun. So if I put hair salon might not work, but I'm going to put in this little kitty because I think it's so cute. And maybe it's just I put a few different small animated images. Of course, put your name, who it's by. Let's get on to the start of the story. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that I set the stage for what's going to happen in my story. And my story is going to say, you decide to get your haircut. At the salon, a wild hair bugs you and you decide to do something crazy. So now I got to come up with a couple options. Which do you choose? Okay, I'm going to do dye my hair. And then, of course, if I click on this link, it could lead me to the color choice, right? Here, I'm going to do, I decided to do a mohawk. Okay. So this is the important part and I'm going to end it here because I know I'm boring you guys like crazy. The important part is that you go ahead now and you put the next two slides as those choices. So again, if you're kind of savvy, you could Control C and copy it. And then you're going to go ahead and title that one of your choices. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to title this choice. Okay. Now, if I go back up here, because you guys are on your Chromebooks, your drop-down menu seems to get hidden. So I'm going to move my text box up just temporarily. And I'm going to highlight it. And then if I go to sometimes you guys have to click these three dots for your paperclip to show up. But I go to paperclip and then notice how it says slide 3, dye my hair. Boom, done. I'm going to move this one up. I'm going to go back up to that paperclip. And oh, gosh, it's not saying it. So I'm going to look over to the side here and I know, oh, guess what happened? I made a mistake. I did dye my hair. This one needs to be called mohawk. Well, thank goodness it wasn't giving me that suggestion. So I'm going to highlight. Whoop. Highlight it. Mohawk. Boom. Okay. Now I can move these down. Oh, don't move that down. Now I can move my boxes down and then I could decide. If I just want to do like a little picture above each one to keep it simple, or if I want to do my whole background. Remember, if you do a whole background, you might want to highlight this. And then go up here to this highlight tool and make sure that you put a color behind it so that we can read your text. Okay, those are all choices that you will have to make. Before you get started, you guys have had some time to think. Remember, your path should end. One of your choices should kind of lead to maybe some sort of disaster, right? It doesn't have to, but you should try to make sure that your story doesn't go on and on and on. I don't know if I think I showed you guys last time. You will be able to share it with me and we can put together a whole 4th grade bookshelf where you guys can read each other's if you decide you want to submit yours. All right, well, have fun creating.